The past 2 years have been difficult for all of us. As you can see from this competition, COVID has barred us from participating in this competition physically. At the same time, we should not overlook the enormous consequence of COVID borne by small and medium enterprises, SMEs. When we mention WeChat Pay, we might just think about it as an online payment platform. It is not only about the features that we can add or the design that we have. It is the integration of services we offer to our users. Greetings to our honorable judges. We are University of Hong Kong team. I'm Bonita, and today I'm joined by James, Emily, and Artman. We have identified current market situations and WeChat Pay's capabilities. We at the same time analyze onboarding and administrative problems and reasons for helping SMEs sustain and grow. This comes down to our problem statement of today. How can WeChat Pay further improve its strategies to help SMEs achieve sustainable growth and create social impact? We would then introduce our strategy, CSR, and explain its impact in terms of ESG and financial. Let's start by first understanding the challenges faced by SMEs. The COVID-19 pandemic has seriously disrupted the operations of SMEs. Most SMEs experience a decline in sales revenue because of two key factors. Logistics and transport issues caused 71% decline in sales, and closure of places of businesses caused another 51% decline in sales. SMEs that have limited resources compared to large corporations are struggling to survive the great hit of the pandemic. Tencent, on the other hand, is operating very well even under the COVID situation. Not only has it experienced an increase in revenue to 560 billion RMB in 2021, despite the outbreak of the pandemic, its profits for the year have almost tripled the past 2 years to 227 billion RMB in 2021. As an enormous market giant doing extremely well under the COVID situation, WeChat Pay has the social responsibility to help struggling SMEs. Hence, WeChat Pay's strategies should be geared towards fulfilling its corporate social responsibility instead of only focusing solely on profitability.
Currently, WeChat is one of the most elite players in terms of developing solutions for SMEs and reaching ESG goals. For SMEs, there already exist different forms of services such as the SME product service team to collect feedback, WeCom for remote working, and Tencent marketing to name a few. On the other hand, WeChat is also strongly committed to ESG, with its 5 primary focuses on business operations, users, business partners, community, and the environment. While these initiatives have paid dividends in the previous years, we believe that there is further room for improvement so that WeChat could further leap to new heights in terms of developing a comprehensive ecosystem for SMEs to thrive in. To start with, WeChat must start addressing the onboarding and administrative difficulties in using the WeChat Pay app. Problems in onboarding, payment confirmation, and business management have hindered user experience for SMEs, preventing WeChat Pay from reaching its full potential. Moreover, to ensure that WeChat could serve as a comprehensive business operation platform for SMEs instead of merely being a mobile payment app, WeChat must discover ways for SMEs to further expand their business and integrate their online and offline business through its platform. To address these major concerns, our team has launched the CSR strategy, which stands for Collab, Share, and Reform. Given the wide variety of SMEs and their diverse needs, these strategies will be targeted at different groups of SMEs and their unique challenges. For smaller SMEs such as taxi drivers or small shop owners, the Collab and Share strategies will effectively help raise their digital literacy, smoothing the onboarding and usage of the app. For bigger businesses such as key account users, the reform strategy will be used to help them transform their business and create an ecosystem within WeChat. Therefore, we believe that the CSR strategy could help WeChat further improve its existing strategies and help SMEs achieve sustainable growth and create social impact. I'll now pass the time to James to talk about the first part of our strategy.
Thanks, Atman. Without a doubt, if we would like to help SMEs, we have to first engage them. There are in fact several ways, but we would like to highlight strategy regarding improving the ease of adoption of WeChat Pay. This is not a simple task. Based on statistics, 45.3% of silent merchants have no idea how WeChat Pay actually works and believe it is complicated in registration. However, we believe it is a misconception, and in fact, it only requires simple information entry and 1 to 2 days for verification prior to a successful registration. But you may wonder, why is there such an impression? We're in the view that it is because of a lack of tech knowledge. We need a bank account, a registration certificate, and the professional authority will check on us. It does sound scary and complex to SMEs, which are run by relatively older individuals who are from less developed areas with lower education background. Is that the case? Let's meet Mr. Wang, a 55 years old fruit seller living in a county in Shanxi, one of the provinces in China with the highest poverty rates. He's not well educated and does not even have basic tech literacy. Then how can WeChat Pay assist Mr. Wang and engage his SME by improving the ease of adoption of the app? We collab. As a first strategy, we collaborate with the government to raise tech literacy for Mr. Wang and people with similar backgrounds. Under the political theme of common prosperity, SME pillar of Chinese development, and Made in China 2025, the Chinese government is in fact desperately aiming for an improvement in general knowledge and education level of the general public in all age groups, especially in less developed regions. As one of the fastest growing economies in tech, a general enhancement of tech literacy is an essential element in achieving the Chinese political vision. WeChat Pay, with its parent company Tencent, can definitely grasp this opportunity in stepping in and providing technological support for the central and provincial authorities. Then, how will it go? WeChat Pay will engage the government and initiate a mass tech education scheme physically in less developed areas. The government will mainly be the party arranging all the logistics and locating suitable regions to carry out the scheme, while WeChat Pay will provide professionals and tech advisory support. So Mr. Wang will be engaged by the public authority in a county and be provided with an opportunity, free of charge, to learn about how basic technology and other related assistance can help him in doing businesses. And by undergoing a set of education, it is believed that Mr. Wang will not remain to be a person with no idea about tech, but with basic knowledge and understanding how digital payment apps can help him with doing business efficiently. So all in all, WeChat collaborates with the government in fulfilling corporate social responsibility by providing social benefits with mass tech education. And at the same time, we'll also be nurturing a potential pool of new WeChat Pay users, and further economic benefits can be derived in a future time. So now I'll pass the time to Emily to talk about our second strategy.
Thank you, James. Let's go back to Wang's story. Now equipped with the basic literacy to use WeChat Pay, Wang is ready to start his online payment journey. If he forgot anything, he can always refer to the comprehensive WeChat Payment Academy uploaded by WeChat. However, there is still one more obstacle to overcome. Due to the diverse background of SMEs, they often face a wide range of unpredictable challenges. For example, the ringtone of Wang's personal and business payment confirmation is often mixed up. This causes tremendous inefficiencies and sometimes even costly errors. As SMEs already have a lack of manpower, they don't have the capability to overcome this problem. This stops them from continuing using WeChat Pay. In fact, this is the reason why over 70% of silent merchants stopped using WeChat Pay. Therefore, we can conclude that SMEs lack tailored support to help them overcome major obstacles. However, it is costly to conduct mass surveys to find out problems and implement them in a small group of SMEs. It is indeed hard for WeChat to provide direct support to SMEs like Wang's fruit shop. We hereby introduce our second strategy, Share. Share is a knowledge sharing forum that encourages SMEs to share their best practices. Let's explore how Share can help Wang overcome his payment notification problem. Firstly, Wang can freely ask his questions on the platform. After that, other WeChat Pay users can also voice their own that they also encounter the same problems by upvoting the Me Too button. Thirdly, SMEs who overcome the problem can explain their best practices. For example, Chen can advise Wang to use different devices with different ringtones to avoid confusion. In fact, since this problem is often encountered by other SMEs, a lot of users also upvote this response, and it is verified by WeChat. These upvotes will be converted to points in order to encourage SMEs to respond and react to each other. With more responses, more accumulated likes and Me Too, SMEs will earn higher points. In order to ensure the quality of responses, points will be more biased towards the number of upvotes. With the point system, we can rank SMEs using a leadership board. The higher the ranking, the more benefits they will receive. For example, Chen's fruit stall's public account can enjoy free promotion by WeChat. Moreover, with tiered badges, SME can use Reform Premium subscription platforms for free, which will be mentioned in our next strategy. What's more, WeChat can also leverage these feedbacks to establish a rapid feedback loop to optimize their service offering. WeChat can target problems with the highest need to upvote and brainstorm solutions around these challenges. For example, in this case, WeChat can allow users to set different ringtones for payment confirmation on both business and personal accounts. In short, Collab and Share can expand the user base of WeChat Pay by solving the crucial problems faced by the SMEs. By first collaborating with the Chinese government to educate SMEs, it can bridge the technological gap between offline and online payment. Then, SMEs can seamlessly weather the difficulties by learning from the Share platform. Now I'll pass the time to Armin to talk about our third strategy.
Thanks, Emily. Moving on to the third part of our strategy, how exactly could WeChat Pay position itself to help SMEs expand and integrate their businesses? Firstly, it is WeChat Pay's internal mission to transform from a payment service provider to an operation service provider. This means that WeChat Pay does not only leverage its capabilities to provide an online payment channel, but it is also trying to develop an ecosystem and create synergy for companies to improve their business management. This explains WeChat Pay's ambition to provide an all-in-one service to assist SME operations. Moreover, WeChat Pay is facing external threats from other online payment channels, with the most notable example being Alipay, owned by Alibaba. Alipay dominated the Chinese mobile market with a 54.5% market share, which is 15% more than that of WeChat Pay. Despite the large scale of its business, Alipay is still rapidly expanding and is experiencing an extremely high market penetration rate at 64.6%. This shows that there is a need for WeChat Pay to introduce a new service in order to differentiate itself from competitors and avoid direct competition in certain aspects. Therefore, we propose reform as our third strategy, which creates a comprehensive ecosystem for SMEs to upgrade their business. First, WeChat should launch a freely accessed digital marketing tool for them to conduct KYC and CRM. While the current solutions provided by Tencent Marketing are really advanced, these solutions mainly leverage on big data to provide enterprise market solutions, which are too complicated and costly for SMEs to implement. Therefore, our marketing tool will mainly focus on analyzing basic business metrics using the data collected from the WeChat Pay app. To start with, our Know Your Customer tool allows SMEs to track the purchase frequency and timing of their customers to identify business risks. On the other hand, the customer relationship management tools will also empower our SME clients by recommending loyalty programs, which will help them retain customers and further expand their user base.
We understand that SMEs demand personalized advice and guidance that our digital marketing tool could not cover. Hence, on the same platform, we propose to offer paid users premium access to frequently updated toolkits based on their industries and operational scale. This toolkit offers positioning maps of large firms for SMEs to differentiate its offerings in order to avoid direct competitions with market giants. Secondly, it offers a summary of funding schemes SMEs could apply for so as to obtain sufficient finances for sustaining their businesses. Thirdly, there are online business management courses available on the platform so SME managers could better learn to efficiently and effectively manage their operations. Last but not least, there would also be expansion frameworks that SMEs could make reference to when planning their growth. All in all, this toolkit assists SMEs to find new business opportunities, funding opportunities, and expansion opportunities, which would be extremely useful for SMEs that are planning to upscale their current businesses. Another highlight that premium users could enjoy is the mentorship program. The newly built platform would connect SMEs to student consulting groups and universities across China. Student consulting groups would utilize their expertise under the supervision of mentors from Tencent to provide consulting advice to SMEs. Since student consulting groups are nonprofit making and provide solutions free of charge, WeChat would be earning all the payments from SMEs. You might wonder if this would be harmful to WeChat's reputation, as it seems as though it is exploiting student consulting services to obtain profit. This is not the case, since all revenue from this platform is used to fund Strategy 1 Collab and Strategy 2 Share, which increases digital literacy and financial inclusion. This sum of money in the end returns to the community. The consulting service on the platform is a three-party win-win-win situation for SMEs, WeChat Pay, and student consulting groups. SMEs could receive personalized advice, guidance, and suggested solutions on improving business health, exploring development potential, and implementing strategic management, While for WeChat Pay, it can gain goodwill for fulfilling corporate social responsibility by providing education opportunities for students and funding programs that create social impact. It can also achieve stickiness to its brands among SMEs. While for student consulting groups, they can more easily find partners demanding their consulting expertise and gain consulting experiences. We believe there is sufficient incentive for SMEs and student consulting groups to join our platform. Now let's have James to talk about our implementation and risks.
Thanks, Bonita. Moving on to step of our successful strategic launch, assuming we'll start in 2023. For Collab, we'll spend around 3/4 in locating suitable regions, followed by another 3/4 in sensing government officials' preliminary opinions. And in the meantime, we aim to have around 3/4 to settle all the logistics and resource allocation arrangements. And we expect by the second quarter of 2024, the education initiative can be rolled out. As for the second strategy, Share, 2/4 will be allocated for the initial knowledge sharing platform building. We'll also kickstart the reward and recognition mechanism building process when the progress of the platform becomes seemingly mature. We expect the platform can be launched by the fourth quarter of 2023, complemented by an ongoing evaluation and maintenance routine. And for the third strategy, Reform, the first 2/4 will be arranged for the research and development of the proposed features, especially the marketing toolkit which suits SMEs. And the free subscription plan will be rolled out in the third quarter of 2023 to test the market, followed by the premium plan launched 2 quarters later. And for our strategies, C, S, and R, we have identified 3 key risks. For Collab, the key risk would be an insufficient incentive for the government to collaborate with a private for-profit enterprise. A way to mitigate the risk would be to engage an NGO as an intermediary and support it to initiate a program with the government. As NGO is more interest-free, it is more likely that the government would engage them. For Share, a foreseeable risk would be an indifferent reaction from the users to the online knowledge sharing platform and a feedback loop. Hence, continuous monitoring would be needed to assess users' reaction, and further market research and survey would be conducted to review their feedback and followed by subsequent modification to better suit users' needs. For Reform, data privacy would be a major concern, given we utilize quite a large number of customer data to provide valuable analysis and advisory to our business customers. Hence, with the changing regulatory environment, especially with the newly revised privacy law in the PRC in 2021, legal consultation is surely needed and ongoing compliance and audit will be necessary. So now I'll pass the time to Emily to talk about impacts of our strategies.
Thank you, James. Moving on to the impact of our solution. For Collab, we aim to reach 40 third-line city-state governments in 3 years' time with the help of the central government. In these 40 cities, we hope that we can reach out of 70% of population who haven't been using WeChat Pay in the third year. Moreover, we would like to reach 50% of all the SMEs in third-tier cities in the first year, 70% in the second year, and 85% in the third year. For Share, we predicted that the cost for the first year, we will incur 300,000 for development costs, 500,000 in hiring costs, and 1 million in operational costs. In 3 years, we plan to solve more than 1,000 problems faced by SMEs and reach more than 10,000 SMEs. For our current SMEs, we aim to increase the satisfaction rate by 30%. Altogether, for Collab and Share, we aim to earn a cumulative 6 billion of revenue, with the assumption that we brought in an extra 100,000 SMEs in total by the end of third year. For Reform, we aim to increase the number of student groups engaged and the number of SMEs assisted. We also aim to attract 80% of current WeChat Pay users to use our free service, and 50% of free users are converted to premium users. And our revenue model can be shared furthermore in Q&A. Now you've seen our impact. We need to act fast. In order to maximize the impact of our strategies in helping SMEs to survive the pandemic and expand their businesses, we have to bring forth our strategies decisively and in a timely manner. Together, WeChat Pay can exercise its CSR and benefit its stakeholder through collaborating, sharing, and reforming. Thank you for your time, and we will be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. So it is time for the Q&A session now. So judges, please keep the question concise and leave your thoughts and comment for the feedback session. And the 15 minutes Q&A session countdown will start now. Let's hear the first question from the judges.
Hi, a very nice presentation. I think you guys sort of summarized everything well. Just want to check. So you mentioned about the market competition, right? So with sort of and you had some comparison around Alibaba, etc. So where do you see with this sort of an implementation timeline, how do you see the market competition being handled once these strategies are implemented? How would it address this external competition?
Right. Thank you for your question. I believe that because we are trying to differentiate from Alipay by adding new services which not only enable SMEs convenient financial transactions, but we are also trying to give them value-added services such as consulting, teaching them how to do their business developments and also develop new product innovation. We believe that this is in itself a product differentiation that could help us differentiate from other external threats such as Alipay. And in terms of our implementation timeline, we believe that the plan could be rolled out in the third quarter so that at that time, we could attract customers to our platform first. And because our strategies also aim to create product stickiness and make our customers more reliant on our platform, we believe that in the long run, this will also be beneficial for our implementations and for winning against our competitors. I hope this answers your question.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, my question is, the solution that you all presented seems to be addressing the needs or the problems for WeChat. How does it help the SMEs? The question that you had in terms of the problem statement was, how could WeChat Pay develop IT solutions that really address the needs of the SMEs and also help the SME achieve sustainable growth in the long term? This seems to be addressing more of a WeChat's revenue problem, WeChat's profitability, than it addresses the SMEs.
Thank you for your question. I will first elaborate on how Share can help with SME, and maybe my team can also add on about how Collab and also Reform can help at SME. So for Share is essentially a knowledge sharing platform that allows different SMEs to share their best practices. Because we understand that a lot of SMEs, when they're using WeChat Pay, they encounter a lot of trivial problems that are really hard to solve. However, since customers, they always customers have increasing demand for their merchants and SMEs to adopt online payment. So the merchants always faces pressure to adopt online payment. Otherwise, the customers will go for another merchant instead of them. Therefore, we see that the SME, they actually have a drive to use these kind of online payment platform like WeChat. However, they sometimes lack the expertise and they encounter a lot of problems using them. Therefore, Share can provide a knowledge sharing platform for different SMEs to exchange their best practices, and hence this can increase the ease of the adoption of online payment platform by these SMEs. Hope this answers my question, and if my teammates have other further add-on.
Yeah, I can also explain how our strategy reform could benefit SMEs. As SMEs, a lot of the time lack funding and they require a lot of collaterals in order to obtain loan from banks. A lot of the time, they do not have sufficient finances to sustain their business operations, especially under the hit of the COVID-19 pandemic. So we believe that our reform strategy could benefit these types of SMEs and also SMEs that are hoping to expand their businesses. As we see that a lot of the businesses fail because of insufficient finances, we would guide them through how to obtain funding from different parties and also guide them through different business opportunities and expansion opportunities so they could make better strategic management and better strategic decisions in order to survive or even expand under the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yes, as for the first strategy, Collab, the logic is really straightforward. Is mainly our company targets at current SMEs who are currently not using WeChat Pay or any smart payment application because of a lack of technology awareness and knowledge. And our aim and our mission is to help them to increase their technology awareness, and they'll have the ability and the awareness to adopt smart payment applications and any other technological solutions in helping them to do businesses efficiently. So this is the simple logic which gonna address the SME needs and help them to grow better in the future. Yeah, I hope
Thanks.
our answers your questions.
Maybe just a follow-up question is, if you can go to the last slide, which you had the KPIs for the strategy you've recommended. I couldn't find any KPI or success criteria, which is on the SME success criteria. It's all the KPIs where relates to WeChats.
Yeah, I can further elaborate on it for the collab strategy first. Is that what you're looking for?
Sorry, I meant any KPIs which is from the perspective of the success of the SME and not the success of the WeChat as a company.
Okay, gotcha. So for the success of SMEs, we aim to reach 85% of the SMEs that are not currently using WeChat Pay. But if you're looking for like the satisfaction of SME, can you go to next?
Right. Right. This is all going to help the WeChat's revenue and bottom line. It doesn't help the SMEs. So what is for example, the profitability of the SMEs? How does that go up? Or how does it help the SMEs business model?
Because we understand it's like each SME has a very diverse background. So it's really hard to predict the revenue being generated. So the KPI that we set for that is that we hope to increase the SME satisfaction rate by 30% by increasing the ease of adoption of online payment. And how we predict that this will be useful for SME is that by adopting online payment, this will increase the ease of consumption of the customers. So the customers will have a higher motivation and a higher ease to consume and also purchase the products from these different SMEs. And this is like the idea that we want to go for. However, we understand it's very hard to estimate like the revenue and the income of each SMEs because like all of them have different backgrounds. So that's why we use like the satisfaction rate to use as a KPI. Hope that answers your question. And yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone. I think really good presentation. I think I really like the angle that you guys have called out around social benefit and social impact. What do you think would be the biggest benefit from a ESG and social perspective, and how would you measure that? Is it just primarily through data literacy or technology literacy uplift?
Thank you for your question. We think that it is mainly related to the E and S within ESG. For the S part, it would be the technical literacy and digital literacy that you have mentioned, which is quite beneficial in terms of helping the less developed regions to reach a newer heights in terms of their business operations. On the other hand, our reform strategy also allows them to further upgrade their business, which is also aims to create social impact and help SMEs pass the hard challenge posed by the COVID-19 situation. While for the environmental perspective, we believe that encouraging more e-payment and overall effectiveness in business transactions would also help save, for example, logistic costs or also some environmental costs in terms of business operations. So it would also be beneficial for the E aspect as well. I hope this answers your question.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay, any additional question from the judges or a follow-up question? Okay, so if no, thank you for the comments from the judge, for the question from the judges. So dear team, now we will place you in the waiting room and bring you back in for the feedback session in a few minutes. And now the judges will stay in the room to deliberate, and everyone else except the judges, please kindly leave the room, and we will see you later for the results announcement. Thank you.